All right, welcome back here. Once again, I'm Art Baudo, and
I'm Gigi Behringer, and we are your hosts this morning for AWS OnAir. We have a special guest with us today talking about some of the most interesting things I think that we've been releasing here at reInvent this year. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Good morning. Great to be here. I'm Shyam Srinivasan. I'm a principal product manager with AWS AI/ML team. I focus on low-code, no-code, and in particular, a fantastic service called Amazon SageMaker Canvas.
You know
Very
what?
nice.
Yeah, and when I saw we were going to talk about this, Gigi, I just want to say, inadvertently, Shyam, I just want to say that I did already highlight some of my favorite features, and we were talking about the Amazon Q stuff, but more importantly, we were talking about natural language here usage as well. And I think that, that's a little segue here to, some of what you've actually updated SageMaker Canvas here with, right?
Absolutely. So very excited. Just yesterday, we launched how to use natural language to prepare data. It's one of a kind. So we import data from any source where you have 50-plus sources on-prem, on the cloud, AWS data lakes, wherever your data is. And then the one thing you do for machine learning is to explore, understand your data, visualize your data, and prepare the data. And what we've launched is you can actually use English as a language to prepare the data.
Oh, wow.
I think this is awesome.
That is awesome.
Although I don't know if you want to use my English, but,
Yeah, maybe not your English.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Gigi.
Maybe someone else's. But that is awesome. I remember learning in college about machine learning and working in a lot of data-centric classes and having to learn how to prepare the data, using Jupyter notebooks to figure out, from scratch, literally never having learned about it at all of that, and then coming to AWS, using SageMaker and being so excited to use it. I just think that the low-code, no-code options really democratize access to this and make it exciting. Adding natural language to that really does even make it one step closer to accessible.
And I really feel like this is a theme of what we've been lucky enough to talk about here all day today is how we have taken tools and services that Amazon has had and continuously improved them to make them even better and easier to use. If you will, right, democratizing the usage of so many of these tools, making it, making the steps easier, and in this case, making it even easier to use.
I've had an original thought recently about how I know it's crazy. New thing for me.
Come on, Gigi, you've had them all day.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's only 2 hours in. But so I had this thought that we've produced so much technology in the past 5 years, 10 years, and everyone now is working on simplifying it back down and making it more accessible, making it so that way you can use SageMaker without necessarily being fully read in on how to prepare data. I'm just really excited about it.
I mean, I think it's reducing barriers to entry, right?
Definitely.
Especially with, this language. You were going to say, Shyam.
No, I was just hanging to what Gigi said. You said you can spell. I could spell machine learning in my first reInvent. Now I can spell machine learning. I think I can spell machine learning. But democratization is what we're talking about, because what we have increasingly heard from our customers is, hey, we have our data scientists are constrained. We have only a handful of data scientists.
That's right.
And our business analysts who work with data day in, day out, they want to do this faster. They want to build models on their own.
Right.
But obviously, they don't have the experience or the expertise. How can you help us? And that's when Canvas was launched 2 years back to help those business analysts. And we've taken a huge leap forward with natural language.
And could you tell us, if you had to, in simplified terms, what is SageMaker Canvas specifically?
Yeah. Absolutely. SageMaker Canvas is a no-code workspace for the entire ML workflow where you use machine learning to achieve business outcomes. So you don't need to learn machine learning. You don't need to know anything about machine learning. It's an interface of your browser where you just, on a click of a button, input your data, click of a button, build your model, and your model is ready.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's what SageMaker Canvas is all about.
That's just fantastic. Yeah. And so you've had some launches this week, I know, about SageMaker Canvas. I'm curious when you first started working on, and I want you to tell us about the launch, but I also want you to tell us what inspired. Was there customer feedback? How did you get to writing the document that led to this launch?
100%. So it was customer feedback. Actually, it was a very casual conversation with a bunch of customers, friendly customers. They said, hey, we love Canvas. We love the way you've made it easy for us. But can you make it easier? Can you make it faster? and said, okay, what would you like? English is the new programming language. So, I want to use English. I don't want to write code. You don't need to write code with SageMaker Canvas, but I don't even want to, pick a transform. The transforms are great. The data transforms are great. I want to visualize it. I want to just tell Canvas, hey, show me the data. Show me the data quality. Can you do that?
Yeah.
And we started writing down bullet points. It was exactly less than 100 days back when we did this.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive.
That's really quick.
Yeah, so it was like 93 days to be precise. So we started writing a
Not that
document.
you're counting.
I'm not counting.
Now it twitches a little.
Right? Yeah.
He hasn't slept in 93 days. We know how it goes.
And then here we are. Very excited. Customers love it, and thank you for having me here.
No, absolutely. And maybe you want to bring up some of this to show everybody here as well. And while you're bringing this up, I'll just also mention, this is kind of a theme as well, that this is customer feedback here has once again kind of transformed and created this awesome feature.
It's
right?
the best source of new ideas.
That's right.
They're using it every day. They're the ones who find those little hiccups that could be smoothed out when you first release a product, and it just leads to really great innovation.
Yeah, it's been exciting. So let me start from where we started 93 days back. So we had this.
Yeah.
We have data preparation in Canvas. It's pretty comprehensive. We have end-to-end data prep where people can pick over 300 data transforms. They can do the visual analysis. They can do insights and stuff like that. And as I said, one of our friendly customers, they said, hey, I love it, but make it easier for me, and I want to use it now. And we said, okay, we started brainstorming within the team, how can data exploration and transformation be easier, faster, simpler?
Yeah.
Right. And that's when we said chat for data prep. And that's the new launch, which we launched just 24 hours back. We said use natural language in Canvas to explore, visualize, and prepare data.
Very nice. And where can this data come from?
So this data can come from over 50 sources. It could be on your on-prem servers. It could be in Amazon S3. It could be Redshift. It could be in Salesforce. It could be in Snowflake. It could be in Databricks.
Okay.
It could be anywhere.
Wow.
We have over 55 Teradata, 55 data sources.
Great.
And counting. You can have your data anywhere and bring it in. You just have to have a connector and then click of a button, your data is in Canvas.
That's awesome. So let's see it.
This is great.
Yeah. It really is.
So this is Canvas. So when you import your data, you have this awesome new feature where you say, use natural language, which we call it as chat for data prep, where you can actually explore, visualize, and prepare data. But I think no slide will do justice without the real product, right? So I think I want to show you in action. So hopefully you can see this.
Yes.
Okay.
We should be all set.
Okay, if I can play this.
I think you just maybe press.
Yeah, I think this is your.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So this is Canvas, where I'm having my data sets and my data flow. A data flow is basically a flow of data from where you start. So I have a hotel booking data set here where I'm doing hotel booking data.
All right.
And I create this. Now the first thing is I import my data.
GG. We just all came from hotels, right?
Yes. This is quite relevant.
These are the 55 sources, and I have my data in my Redshift cluster.
Okay.
I just pick my data. I bring it in, I drag my bookings data, I can quickly visualize it, and then drag and drop my data there. I have not written any code so far, right? I'm
so far loving the simplicity of the drag and drop. Okay.
That's been a new theme, I think, in the past couple of years with us, is the drag and drop code. It's not even no code, it's drag and drop.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Drag and drop. Great.
So I'm viewing my data here. The first thing I want to do is to analyze my data, right? I ask Canvas to draw me a quality and insights report.
Absolutely.
Right? I want to know what are the anomalies, are there duplicates, are there target leakages. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a pre-training report here. And I say my target column is canceled because that's what I want to predict, how many bookings were canceled.
Yeah.
Right. And then Canvas produces this wonderful in-depth data quality and insights report. As you can see, there's duplicate rows, if there are any in the data. It can give you anomalous samples and anything and everything with respect to the data, right? Quality, so that once you know where your data is, how your data is, you can prepare it. because till you know it won't do it.
I also love as we were scrolling by here, it also tells you the percentage of the duplicate data as well. So it's like 20, in this case, 21% of its duplicated data, right?
So it's
crazy. I want to drop it.
Yeah, I know.
And then I go and say, you know what? Let me chat with my data. So what Canvas does, Canvas Chat for Data Prep does is it gives you some guided prompts to get started, right? So how do I start, right? And then I say I visualize my data. It's the beautiful thing is for folks who think that I don't want a black box. You can even see the code if you want to.
That's great.
You expose the code to you so that it's not a black box. I don't know what is going on under the hood, so please tell me. So I said drop duplicate rows, right, as you were mentioning, 21%. So I dropped all my duplicate, and I see the code, and I say add to my data and transform my data.
Yeah.
And then that all should be visible on that visualization tool.
Absolutely. It's a DAG. It's a DAG tool. It'll tell you all the steps that you've taken to transform your data.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right, and then I keep going, and then once I have my data is ready, everything is great. Now I want to build the model because that's the model I want to use as I want to put it to production.
Right.
Right, and I want to continue the journey of my ML workflow because you start with data, and then eventually you want to build a model, no code again, and then go on to use that model. Right. So I go ahead and export the data into Canvas. I say give me this data of bookings data. That's what I'm looking at here, right?
Right.
I'm doing that here. I export the data. It takes a minute for the data, the transform data, to be exported, and then I say, create the model for me. It's a predictive analysis model. I say, give it a name. I said predict bookings data. Oops, did I lose it?
Oh, wait, we're back. We're back.
Okay, great. All good. Okay.
All good. So
hey, we're live.
We are definitely live. When you export it, where does that go?
So you can export it to the Canvas workspace itself in your own account. It doesn't go anywhere. You can go to your S3 bucket if you want to do it, wherever you want to do it. So I build the model, and then I say, go ahead and build the model. And there you are. I have. It takes about. It depends on what model you pick. Canvas gives you a choice between a quick build, which is quick, which builds a model in 15 minutes and gives you the feature importance of each feature.
Very nice.
Or you can go through a complete in-depth model, which is what we call as a standard build, which explores the hyperparameter space, builds like tens of to hundreds of models, and then gives you a model. So gives you a highly accurate model.
Wow. Yeah, this is
speechless.
Well, I'm speechless because it's just the amount, awesome. The way you're able to do this, and the work on the data here, and also the removal of the duplicates as well.
Exactly.
I mean, we all have that kind of the output is only as good as the input of the data itself, right? So if you are building a model with the duplicates that's in there, suddenly you have slightly skewed data. In this case, you're looking at your cancellation rates and. It creates, you may build one very different system in your hotel if you don't have the correct booking information. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not only duplicates is one example. You could also say, hey, what are the outliers in my data?
Yeah.
Replace my missing values, right? Because there's missing values in data, right? And replace it with, standard deviation of plus or minus 3, whatever you pick, and how you want what is the problem that you're trying to solve, and how you want to solve it.
So it's customizable based upon what your data input is, right? So and sometimes you may not realize what your data is until you're looking at the system, right?
Right.
And so you get the histogram saying, in this case, right, 21% were duplicates. Well, maybe you didn't realize that that you had that many duplicates, right? And maybe that also could cause you to take action elsewhere, outside of the system, right?
Absolutely.
Take a bigger look at what you're bringing in.
Yeah. So very excited. We would. Looking forward to customers using it, giving us feedback, and improving on this, right? We want to do better.
Absolutely, yeah. So I would say, with what you've created today, what are you hoping to see in a year, 2 years, 3 years from now for the product?
I don't even want to go to 3 years. I want to go 6 months to a year.
Okay.
I want to do it. I want to use natural language through the ML workflow. I want to say, hey, join my data for me, build the model for me.
Yeah.
I don't even want to click that create a model for me, right? I don't want to do that. I want to do that. I say, build a time series forecasting model for me for my demand forecasting. And I want to be completely flexible. I want to give customers choice, flexibility, and simplicity.
I love that. We've said that many times today, but we work so hard to give customers choice. We're surrounded by partners that create different products to give them choice. But then we also, take their feedback and continue to iterate to keep giving them wider choices. We have
Absolutely.
about a minute left. So if someone wants to get started, if they want to find more content on this, where can they go?
So a couple of things. I have a link to the blog post here, but more importantly, I think people love to go hands-on. So customers can get on hands-on. They can scan the QR code right there. We have a bunch of labs for that, from examples from customer churn to demand forecasting to manufacturing defects to shipping delays. Pick your favorite example. So would love for them to get hands-on and try all the labs in your own sandbox environment, and then hopefully move forward.
I think, and that's a kind of perfect connection back here to reInvent, because that's what customers come here to do, is take a hands-on look at some of the labs, the builder sessions. And for those who are out there who may not have been able to join us here, you have an opportunity right here to do a hands-on experience here, guided, kind of through this system as well. It's a great way to get started.
Absolutely.
As well, right?
Absolutely. We're looking forward to, customers, taking this forward, having fun. I mean, that's, we need to have fun.
That's what we're all about. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
We'll be back shortly with even more content about new launches. So we'll see you soon, and come back shortly.